For millions of years, Mother Earth has provided her natural resources to the human race so that we may keep our homes warm, grow food to nourish our bodies, and have fresh water to drink. She willingly has given and given, and humans take and take from her. The population of the human race is at an all-time high. We are creating vast amounts of pollution to the earth that may be irreversible if we don't make the necessary changes now. It is our turn to give back to what she has given for us. We can do that by reusing our natural resources so that we can make clean energy. We must do our part to ensure that the future generations have a future they can look forward to.
Far too often in the past, First Nations have been shut out of the power industry generation. As we get to new technology, there's an opportunity for First Nations to become involved and to participate in the exciting opportunities generated by wind, solar, flare gas, as well as SMRs and hydrogen in the future. These new technologies will not only benefit our membership, but also create a more sustainable environment for our grandchildren and those yet to come.
We understand that a clean energy future needs to include Indigenous engagement and development. Through FNPA and through processes like the development of Canada's Action Plan on SMR technology, that we can help to build the bridges for the future. Bridges for the future that ensure that energy security, food security, and other important topics of discussion happening around the world today become a reality.
We're working to bring our economy out of the deep freeze, and we need everyone to be included to do that. To do that, we need the First Nations Power Authority. We need you. We need your drive. We need your tenacity to innovate, to create new opportunities, to excel as you have done. And we need you to do all of this while we carefully manage our public health in an ongoing pandemic. So as we build back better, we must push even harder towards inclusion and reconciliation. Not just because it's the right thing to do, and it is the right thing to do, but because it's also the smart thing to do. It's a competitive necessity. We can't afford to leave our best talent on the sidelines. When we include everyone, we get the best.
Reconciliation is an obligation of all First Nations, non-First Nations who call Saskatchewan and Canada home to take the 94 calls to action that our over 100 residential school survivors asked of us to make sure that the future generations do not have to go through what our current and past generations have been through. One of them is number 92, and that is call to action with economic development. First Nations people must and have to be a part of all growth in our province and in our country. It could be from renewable energy to frontline, but it has to do with economic development.
At FNPA, we believe that renewable energy is one of the keys to helping our First Nations achieve their economic goals and targets. Alberta has done a great job so far. REP Round 3 was a prime example of that with the Indigenous equity participation minimum requirement of 25%. We feel that's a launching pad for the future for our First Nations. Specifically, we believe with the current movement towards more tangible ESG goals, that is economic, social, and governance, that there's a real opportunity here to create synergistic partnerships between First Nations and industry in the province. At FNPA, We believe that wealth creation, ownership of wealth, is the key to unlocking our nation's future. Wealth is the key to achieving all our health, education, and socioeconomic goals and targets. We strive to bring together partnerships that are synergistic and are long-lasting and are benefit to all parties involved.
Indigenous people have always had a relationship with the lands. A deep sense of respect is given. They only take what is needed so that others may share in the wealth that Mother Earth has given them. They believe there is a natural law when it comes to what they take from Mother Earth. Take care of her, and she will take care of them for as long as she can.
Ade wakatan ke Yohana gaga te ha. Dago Yohana oni je Yohabino. Dago giti abi no. Ade wakatanga se chek wachinga eha. Tagani Yohana nina wakati no. Aho pabi wo. Makutene nina wakati no. Dago Yohana nina wakati no. Ta odane. Ta Yohana nina wakati. Wamakaskana wamnuska. Dago Yohana nina wakati no. Aho pabi wo. The meaning of that song is the Togashina Chea Waono Hona Machko. That means, hear my voice, Creator, I'm crying. Help me, pity me. That's what the song says.
Reconciliation is about returning to the kind of relationship that we used to have, or to establish the kind of relationship that we mutually wanted at a certain point in our historical past. When we look at our relationship with the land as Indigenous people, we know that we have a special relationship with it. When I was a young lawyer, an elder once told me that when you have difficult decisions to make, go sit upon the lap of your mother, the earth, and she will help you make those decisions. Because of that special relationship, we only took what we needed from the land. We only exploited it to the extent that we needed the resources to be able to rely upon. And what that means today is that our relationship with the land is still a very strong part of what it is that we need to do.
We butchered them too, and I gave them to surrounding communities on our reserve and off reserve, and it was good. It was good to see the traditional way of doing this process of butchering them. And it was good to see what these other band members did from Gordon's. I gave them 2 hides when I did it, and they made a traditional drum out of it. Myself, I'm a traditional dancer, and a whistle carrier and a pipe carrier. And when they did that group of singers, and when they hit that drum, it hit me right away. It connected with my spirit, because those were my buffalo. They made a drum out of there. I didn't know how to feel. It was very emotional to see this group of singers to make a drum out of the hides that I gave them from my farm. So it was sort of like a chilling thing. It was a chills down my whole body. And that's the power of what we have here today. We don't realize that. Some people think, oh, they're just buffalo. They're not. It's something that we used way back. Our ancestors. We made our clothing from there. The ladies made their traditional dancing dresses. We made our moccasins out of there. We made our jackets. Lots of things that we see today in the museums. What they did with these animals.
In today's world, during COVID-19, we have many struggles. Indigenous communities are very vulnerable, and so we need to ensure that the strategies moving forward will involve partnerships that help to build wealth, that help to build structural opportunities around education, training, labor force development, and building wealth. Equity participation is just one way, but there are many ways that we can help to build these bridges, and we invite each and every one of you to be a part of the conversation regarding SMR technology, hydrogen, and other emerging technologies that provide promise and hope for a better future.
So how do we do that? How do we lift people up? How do we empower each other? The answer I keep coming back to is economic development, done the right way, done in a good way, in a spirit of partnership and reconciliation. Energy is Canada's family business. It's something we're really good at, something that, when done well and done in a good way, can empower and uplift communities. Small modular reactors represent yet another opportunity to put that into practice. That's the road that has brought me here today with you. And it's the path our government is committed to walking with you as we build Canada's clean energy future.
Today, our youth are more hungry than ever for change. They want to make sure that they're a part of the growth, a part of the change. Mother Earth is talking to us. Climate change is real. We must transition to a new model of renewable energy. Our youth have to be ready. We must educate them, and so that they can be a part of it, a part of the change, and to be prepared to take over those leadership roles.
Bringing in renewable energies for First Nations / Indigenous community, and it would be better for my generation and my generation's grandkids or kids, so we could have a brighter future. I don't want them to be living in smoke or polluted lakes. Well, they already are, but like, it's just really important to keep our world clean, because we're basically just kind of killing the earth by throwing garbage or throwing chemicals in the lakes. The land is really important. It's really important to us because we dance powwow, and what if we all of a sudden run out of food and then we have to start eating plants? The plants won't grow if we don't keep the whole world clean. And yeah, that's why it's so important to me.
I clearly have a passion for clean energy future and bringing our people forward. This would include nuclear power. As I see it, small modular reactors within the next 10 to 20 years is going to be a huge game changer for all of our communities. When we talk about reconciliation, we all have our own personal thoughts on what reconciliation is. My personal reconciliation would be to bring my father back that isn't possible. So reconciliation, as I see it, as a nation, is all of us coming forward together to build a better future, to protect Mother Earth. So to move us all forward, I see small modular reactors as paving that way.
Our forefathers depended on the natural resources and the environment, and they were connected to our ceremonies, our culture, the wind, the sun, and now with climate change and everything that's going on, it's time to reconnect. In my belief that, you know, we utilize the sun, we utilize the wind, which has no effect on our environment. And if we harness it, then we can save Mother Earth.
Mother Earth is desperately needing our help to reset her natural resources in a number of ways. To bring life to her once rich soils, to make her water fresh again, and to enable animals to roam freely to set the natural order of grazing. She will heal again, but it is up to us, starting now, to bring reusable and clean energy resources to the forefront of environmental reconciliation.
On behalf of the First Nations Power Authority, Board of Directors, and its members, I wish to thank everyone for participating in the first ever National Indigenous Forum on Small Modular Reactors, or SMRs. This conference is to ensure First Nations participation in these new technologies. These new technologies will enable us to learn the cunning of the white man, as said in our treaties.
Tanse, Anin, Elanate, Kwe, Metalin, and greetings. I'm Guy Lonechild. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the First Nations Power Authority. I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the National Virtual Indigenous Forum on Small Modular Reactors.